All right, everybody, we're looking at the Trog racer here that we're trying our very best to get ready for it this year. I'm hoping I can get in and get it finished in time. Maybe be running by the 1st of May. Hope so. I've got a couple pieces here I was going to show you this evening. This frame on this side of this thing has got some pretty deep pits in it, right back in there and in there. And I measured them, and they're about halfway through. A little scary for a bike you're going to run pretty hard. So I've got two pieces here. And I got the Corbin Garage on eBay. It's the only way I could find them. And they did a good job on these things. So I want to give a shout out to them. They got all the pieces, and I measured everything, and it's all the same. So we're going to put them on. We're going to put it on a frame machine, and get everything straight. I got a buddy that's got a frame machine, and he's the laser everything. He's going to put these in for me, and got the equipment to do that with. And then the springs, we'll talk a little bit about that and getting ready to set this up. I can't do the cups, bearings, or none of this until I get the frame fixed. As soon as I get the frame fixed, I'm going to rust those parts to match the frame, and I can put everything together fairly quick after that. The motor right now is the cylinders. Sent them off. Steve LeMay's got them, relieving them, putting in a set of valves, springs, and Street Performance cams from Silvio and Cycle Mo there, and so got that working on the motor right now with that stuff. Ralph Camp's got the transmission. Probably be done with that in about a month, and we're putting the close ratio gears. As we get this stuff together, I'll show it to you. But so I bought these, got these from Steve, got the springs, and I wanted some original kind of crusty stuff that was original to go with the bike. I don't want to really put any new parts on it if I can help it. And I was working on it. He sent me this stuff. And I had a little bit of confusion with it. I'll show you why and what I learned from it, and what will help you to know the difference between the two things. So if you look at these, when you take them apart, they have the inner springs, outer springs. These inner springs, they have a bend. There's two things to them to know about. This is factory versus what I'm going to show you aftermarket looks like. These are bent, for one thing. Now, the reason this is a factory bend on that, they have these bent so they don't rattle, okay? That's the first thing to know. The lower springs is about a 1/4 inch difference. You can see there's just a little bit of difference between the lowers and the uppers. And so you put the one with a little bit longer, the longer springs on there, and then the bigger set of springs. And when you get ready when you put this thing together, this is what I noticed when I was working on it. Started to put it together, and then I got the smaller springs that's got crooks in them. I thought it was pretty cool. They put the crooks in there so that they won't slide and rattle around. And you've got grease holes here and Alamite fittings that go in here, and that greases this. Around there, it's not too big of a deal there. Okay, you get that there. Okay, put that in, slide them on, no problem. Had the big springs. I was ready to put everything together, and when I looked at it, all I had to compare to, and that's been my problem a lot with these 45s. It's the reason I make these videos. All I had to compare to was this 42 model. Or old red over there, the 46. To look at it, when I was looking at the springs, you can see down here that this spring, zoom in on me right here, the spring is just barely over halfway right there. Inside, there's nothing. Well, look over here at this one. You can look at this 42, and the inner spring goes all the way up. So does the upper spring goes all the way up. If we come over here to old red, you can see the inner spring there goes all the way to the top, and the inner spring goes all the way to the top. So I was questioning Steve on that, and I said, why is this working this way? How come these springs are not the right springs. I thought he'd sent me 2 sets of the same thing for the top. And so he began to tell me that they're a 1/4 inch difference on the bottom length, and they were the right ones. Went up to a friend of mine's house who has an original front end flathead, and his springs are down like that. And so what I realized is that these springs are designed to not even catch until that goes down. That's why these front ends on these, when you see a spring that's going all the way to the top, an inner spring, that's an aftermarket spring. It's not an original spring. Original springs come down to about there, which is 60-70% up there. And that's what makes them give. And then if they get so much pressure that they come down that far, then they go to the inner springs and begin to move on them on the lower part here. And so I learned a little bit about that. And if you've got original springs, they're going to look like that. You'll know they're aftermarket if they're like this. And these aftermarket front ends, which is all I had ever ridden before, they're stiff. Let me tell you, they're a lot stiffer. And these work a lot better actually. So anyway, Steve was right on that. I was wrong, and I told him so. So and I appreciate all the help that he's given me on this thing. It's really coming together more than it looks right now. I'm just getting parts, everything together as I can, and working on it. I've got all the cups, bearings, everything for the front end, the gas tank, the gas lines, the oil lines. We have the waiting on the cylinders to come back. The lower end, putting the cases together. Probably this week I'll put that back together and get everything. We've checked everything, went over all of that. Me and Morris, my friend. And I'm gonna try to get Morris on one of these videos if I can talk him into it. I don't know if that's gonna work out or not. And so I'm excited about the Trog Racer. But that's how you tell aftermarket springs from the others. It's just you know that, and they do have a bend on them that keeps that distance from jumping and bouncing around. And going to get this frame fixed on this thing. Went yesterday for about a 2.5 hour or something like that ride on this 42. Shaved those heads. It's a different bike. I can just go over the hills. It's not faster in terms of it's 55, 60 mile an hour. That's because that's the way it's geared. But it goes up the hills and down the hills and all of that now without having just fallen on its face. Made a huge improvement. I have a blast on this thing. And but we're getting ready for this racer. I also want to show you the next thing that I've got coming up down the pike. My buddy, give this to me, everybody. Give it to me. And somebody commented in one of the lines, said, I wish I had a friend like that. And I'm like, I guarantee it, because this is awesome. But I'm going to show you what's coming up next. 1957 pan head. I've got all the old chopper parts. I want you to check this out. Look at these old bags to go with it. I got the wheel, the rims. Look at this old seat. I'm not fixing any of this, everybody. I'm not even going to wipe the dust off of it. Set in the barn in the same place that 45 sat for at least 15 years in that place. He put it there. I've got that. Got the rim, front rim. Check that front rim out for this. It's going to be a 57 pan head chopper. You can check out the front wheel back there. That's the back wheel. Primary case. Like I say, I've got all the parts that I need. This is a whole assembly of things. This is for the 45. It's a different outfit altogether, but a whole setup here of parts. And check this out. I don't know if she can get in here and see this or not, but a knuckle frame. This is a knuckle, and we know that because of the way the pan head motor fits right there. But it's a knuckle frame that has been the way they used to do them. In the 60s, they would Bondo everything and smooth it out and custom make. So I'm gonna take this frame just like it is. I'm gonna use that gas tank. I'm gonna fit everything a little bit better. Got the mouse trap on it. I mean, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be all kinds of cool. You can see the seat. I mean, look at that, everybody. that not going to be awesome? I'm so excited about this. Get over here and see that. Look at this set of pipes. Big old set of, looks like a Chevy or something, but that's the pipes that's going to go on that thing, sticking out the side. It's going to be awesome. And then the part that really makes it, I mean, phenomenal. And I want to get over here and show this to you. The front end on this outfit, everybody. Can hardly walk in my garage right now. Check out this front end. Is that not cool? Got the dual lights there. I have another one to put on it. Look at that. When you put it all together, it just sets back on you like this. Just perfect. But that's the thing, the whole front end. When I put this together, I'm going to do a video on this because the way it goes together is different than most. And yeah, it's going to be a cool project. Panhead chopper, everybody. Old school, straight out of the probably 60s or something. And we're going to put this thing back together just like it come apart. Not polishing, cleaning, and shining and all that kind of nonsense. We're going to put it together just like it is. And it's going to be phenomenal. I'm excited about it. My wife's having a hard time keeping me out of the garage with all this stuff. But that's the projects that's coming up down the pike. And Panhead chopper, the Trog racer. That's how you tell the difference between aftermarket springs and the real deal. And we're going to put that together here as soon as we get the frame fixed, and we'll be ready to go. We'll get a video up here in a few days as we make some advances and start getting this thing together. October, everybody. We're going to New Jersey. If we can get it done at all, we're going to be there and going to throw some sand off that back wheel. We'll see y'all next week.